Meanwhile, in Turkey, the mayhem continues, one deadly earthquake after another. Here is the latest. 2 quakes rocked the Hatay province. This is in southern Turkiye, near the border with Syria. It happened on Monday evening. The quakes measured 6.4 and 5.8 on the Richter scale, and Hatay was hit hard in the previous quakes too, the ones that came 2 weeks back, and claimed more than 46,000 lives. 46,000. Now, the same region has been struck again. 6 people have died, more than 300 are injured. Rescue operations are underway. Reports say 32 aftershocks were felt in Syria, Egypt and Lebanon. Aftershocks are small quakes that follow a big one. For the residents of Hatay, like the rest of Turkey, this is a nightmare on repeat mode.
I thought it was the apocalypse. We tried to get out, but we couldn't. We felt that the house was crumbling down. Children were there too. I said, run to the corners, hide. But we could not escape. We collapsed in front of the door. I lost my husband and 2 sons. My daughter was not at home at that time. She was in the hospital. There was no bad news from her, but no good news either.
It felt like the ground would tear apart. The ground was shaking. We were very scared. We thought the ground would tear apart.
The earthquakes have shaken the regime of Turkey's president too. Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his government's corruption are in focus. We've spoken about this before, about how Ankara cut corners, about how shoddy construction was allowed, and how the government response to the tragedy has been inadequate. What's worse, the warning signs were always there. The mayor of Hatay, who is from the opposition party, was asked a question some time back. Is the region prepared to deal with the aftermath of an earthquake? That's the question he was asked. And this is his response. No, we aren't. I can't tell how many times we've written to ministries about this, with mostly no response. Now, with every such report, the crisis for Erdogan deepens. Remember, this is an election year. Turkey will go to polls in less than 90 days from now. May 14th is the date. And this is turning into Erdogan's toughest election ever. The earthquakes may shift the tectonic plates of politics too. The president's approval ratings are hovering around the 30 to 40% mark. His party, the AKP, is up against a coalition of 6 parties. This is called the Nation Alliance, Opinion polls predict a tough election. Both sides are expected to get a 40% vote. The economy was already struggling. The quakes have dealt a body blow. The opposition is sharpening its knives. But will the election be held on time? Reports say Erdogan is keen to postpone it, but the constitution does not allow it unless the nation is at war. So Erdogan must pull a rabbit out of the hat. He's hoping a foreign policy win might help. In the middle of the quake crisis, he's pushing for F-16 jets from the US. Remember, Turkey is a member of the NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It's a military alliance. Some time back, Turkey bought a Russian missile defense system, the S-400. So the Americans sanctioned it. Now Erdogan wants those sanctions to be lifted. He wants to seal a $20 billion deal with the US. It's a deal to buy 40 F-16 jets from America.
With regard to the F-16s, the Biden administration strongly supports the package to both upgrade the existing F-16s and to provide new ones to Turkey, because as a NATO ally and partner, it is in our national interest and the security interest of the alliance that Turkey continue to be able to operate at the higher standards of NATO to make sure that we have full interoperability.
Erdogan wants the jets to modernize his air force. What does America want in return? Erdogan's support to expand the NATO. Sweden and Finland are keen to join. Turkey is the only roadblock. Erdogan says these countries support extremist groups that have been designated as terrorists in Turkey. So there's a deadlock. The US hopes that fighter jets can fix it. Turkey's support is essential because the NATO has 30 members and all of them must vote for new countries to be able to join. So Ankara and Washington may be burying the hatchet for mutual gain. What about Ankara and Islamabad? Best friends until recently, but not anymore, it seems. First, Turkey snubbed Pakistan's prime minister and told him to postpone his visit to the country, and now they've exposed Pakistan's aid stunt. Pakistan sent aid after the earthquakes. Turns out it was repackaged Turkish aid. We told you about it yesterday. You may remember that last year, Pakistan was struck by floods. Turkey sent aid then. Now, Pakistan has repackaged it and sent it back. They changed the packaging of the outer boxes, but forgot to change the boxes inside, so they were exposed. Now, reports say the Turkish Consulate General has raised objections. It wants answers from the Pakistani Foreign Ministry. So far, no response. That's classic Pakistan for you. We can only hope it's another lesson learned for Turkey on who they can call friends.